Hey there, Shield Wall Nation. I'm back. Here we go. Here goes another day of daily news. I want you guys to be informed what's going on. We may miss things that will affect us or is interesting. Now, there's a Democratic Party strategist is warning that the lack of political unity is moving into the 2020 elections. Democrats lack a measure of support for Biden's campaign. There are some red flags concerning Biden's low polling numbers with Hispanics, a key demographic that went with Sanders in the primaries. So even though Bernie Sanders does endorse Joe Biden earlier this year, he has done little in regards of activity. But that really goes to say that both parties aren't supporting one another. You have the Democrats that are kind of split a little bit. They're split between socialists and then the Democratic Party, the more the established Democratic Party. And then you have Republicans that are not siding with each other as well. So there's these two sides, Democrat and Republican, and then each of them have their own two little parties, little cliques, I guess you want to call it, that aren't supporting each other. And that's not good. That is not good. That's not good for us. Whether you side with Democrat or Republican, it's not good for us as a country. Because if they can't get anything done, they're arguing over here and arguing over here. What makes you think that they can get things done together? So that sucks. Justice Democrat Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has raised about $10.5 million for her re-election campaign. Some of that, 80% of the donations, have been from smaller contributors, according to the Federal Election Commission, which places her in the top 5 amongst House fundraisers. You can obviously tell that she is quickly gaining traction and support. However, I'll try to put the picture here so you can see as I'm talking. There is a viral screenshot of what she has posted, and it was quickly taken down. And it quotes from AOC, Alexandria Cortez, that it's vital that governors maintain restrictions on businesses until after the November elections, because economic recovery will help Trump be reelected. A few business closures or job losses is a small price to pay to be free from his presidency. # keep us closed. I mean, if I was in that position, her position, getting money and being somewhat well taken care of and wealthy, I wouldn't mind the people below me, even out of my district of New York, over in California or Seattle. Yeah, of course I wouldn't mind having them have business closures because it doesn't affect me. She doesn't think about everyone else that it affects. Let's say I have a business with 30-something employees. I close. That's me plus 30 employees. That's 31 people out of a job, struggling to make ends meet, struggling to make those bills. Just because she doesn't like Trump, that she's willing to have many people become unemployed. That's corruption. That's disgusting. I don't even care if it's Democratic Party said it or a Republican Party member said it. Whoever says it is disgusting. Is okay for few business closures or job losses is a small price to pay to be free from his presidency. Or let's say free from anyone's presidency. That's disgusting. That's why she took it down quick, because she realized, or whoever managed her account realizes, that what was said was disgusting. And she doesn't surprise me. She's been blurting out horrible things like this. I hope she don't win. I really do hope she don't win. I don't even care if another Democrat takes her place, as long as it's not her. That's disgusting. That's one of the very few things on here that pisses me off. Okay. What they call now the insurgents, the riots, the mob, not the protesters, the mob. Um, it says insurgents toppled and vandalized more statues and monuments over the weekend. Statues of Francis Scott Key, which he's the one that wrote the Star Spangled Banner and also is a lawyer. He's white, so that's probably why they tore it down. And Ulysses S. Grant were vandalized. Oh, sorry, not torn down, vandalized in San Francisco. And General Ulysses S. Grant was a general for the North fighting the South. If you don't know North and South in the Civil War, I'm not going to teach it to you. You should go educate yourself. Also, New York City has planned to remove a statue of President Theodore Roosevelt from the entrance of the American Museum of Natural History. People just want statues of white people taken down. Statues of our American history taken down. Theodore Roosevelt ain't a bad guy. His history. Was our president. But he's white, so they want it taken down. There is a video that kind of circulated. This female, she was from Venezuela, grew up there in her teens, and this is what she said she saw. Statues being taken down, street names being changed. Sooner or later, they only let you watch the movies they want you to watch. And she warns Americans, don't let this happen to you. If you don't think it's going to happen to you, it will. And I believe it. I believe if you grow complacent and you think, that won't happen to me, that's when it will happen to you. So you think necessarily that, they're fighting for their people, are disgusted that they're taking down statues because of their heritage? Some might think that way. But nonetheless, it's the same thing that we've seen has been repeated in history. And we're going to see it today, in our lifetime. It says, also in Austin, Texas, protesters attempted to storm the Austin Police Department and were successful in seizing American and Texas flags. Activists burned the flags while shouting "F the police." Now, this whole movement, they've been putting this blanket statement that they don't hate the police, that they just want it to be reformed, changed to help get rid of the corrupt police members. Well, if you have them coming around to saying fuck the police in general, I mean, it's kind of getting a mixed message. Fuck the bad cops, fuck the corrupt cops. That'd be a little more accurate. But put a general statement of fuck the police. I mean, what is everyone else going to think? That this whole movement hates the police. But you see, like I said, you see these actions of burning this down and destroying this and defacing this. It's what happened in the French Revolution. Happened with the Nazi Party gaining power, and with Joseph Stalin and Lenin and Joseph Stalin. That's how they got into power, destroying history, creating their history, and saying this is it. We are letting history repeat itself. And I don't think we should let that happen. We need to learn from history, not destroy history. That's just my take on it. But let's see, it says right here, the current BLM activity will likely, as they quote, wane like a virus as it eats its own and terrifies its sympathizers that they may be next. Unless, of course, a would-be Napoleon uses a whiff of grape shot and turns the mob into his personal cult. I mean, over in Chop, it's kind of happening. They're shooting themselves, injured. As far as I've seen, there's 2 injuries, 1 death. Right? There's women being sexually assaulted and raped. There's physical assaults and altercations over there. So, and they're also the residents that live there, probably used to live there. They probably moved out, or at least away for a while. They're and businesses being extorted for money. So, I mean, as it eats its own, the 2 injured and 1 death, rape and sexual assault. And then the terrifies its sympathizers. We just saw that in Chaz, Chop, whatever you want to call it. We saw that. Let's see. Going on to the Capital Region, Threat Intelligence Consortium issued a warning to the DC. Is likely attractive target for violent adherents of Boogaloo ideology due to the significant presence of U.S. law enforcement entities and the wide range of First Amendment protected events here. The Boogaloo ideology likely resides in the National Capital Region, and others may be willing to travel for far distances to incite civil unrest or conduct violence encouraged to the online forums associated with the movement. The Department of Homeland Security issued a border statement on Friday that said the Boogaloo proponents very likely take advantage of any regional or national situation involved heightened fear intentions to promote their violent extremist ideology and call supporters for action. If anyone doesn't know what the Boogaloo is, it's a far right extremist group. Even though they do identify as libertarian, they are still a citizen militia. I mean, any side, it doesn't matter. Any side, left and right, is militia. I mean, if you really look at it, Antifa and BLM's in a militia that sides with the left. They're citizen militia. They're preparing for, or seeking, or at least inciting a second American civil war, or they call it the Boogaloo, that will overthrow the government. Typically, they dress like vacation dads. That's how I put it. They wear Hawaiian shirts. That's the vacation dad, and then they wear military type fatigues for bottoms. So if you really look at it, the Boogaloo movement is far right. The Antifa and BLM is far left. Now, let's see how the government handles it. We know as far as Antifa and BLM taking over Seattle that Democrats are okay with that, even with the assaults and everything going on. They're okay with that as a summer of love, as the mayor quoted. But let's see how the right handles the Boogaloo movement. Are they going to come in hard and say, no, you can't do that, and start arresting and actually not supporting them? Or are they going to support them? But remember, that's far right. Antifa and BLM's far left. The rest of us, even the people just in the normal constitutional militia or any militia, leans left or right, but they're in the center. They're not these far right nut jobs or far left nut jobs. Just remember that before you start categorizing. But yeah, we're just here, living in this crazy world with COVID spiking, with the economy gonna probably go back down again. So I highly suggest you go out there and buy a little bit of toilet paper, save some for the rest of us. Buy a little bit of food, a little extra, save some for the rest of us. Let's not go crazy like we did this last time. And if we do, then it's probably the people that didn't go crazy last time. Now they're making up for it. And while the people went crazy last time, they're okay. But let's at least be civil. Let's be civil about these things. I mean, after all, we're going to have to live on this world together, regardless. Regardless if we dislike China and their actions, or North Korea and their actions, or Russia, or the Middle East, or ourselves. We're all humans in this small little planet, in this small little galaxy. So let's treat each other with a little bit of humility as best as we can. So I hope everyone watched this entirety of this video, and I'm glad you stayed along. If you did, just make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you.